The chapters in your life are written by what you hear and experience. Chapter.com gives you access to amazing audiobooks anytime you want, on any connected device, always for free. What's your next chapter? Find it at Chapter.com and make sure to like us on Facebook.
You are listening to a post-production audiobook presentation of The Story of Dr. Dolittle. Once upon a time, many years ago, when our grandfathers were little children, there was a doctor, and his name was John Dolittle. He lived in a little town called Puddleby-on-the-Marsh. All the folks, young and old, knew him when he walked down the street in his high hat. Dogs and children would follow him, and even the crows that lived in the church tower would caw and nod their heads. The house he lived in on the edge of town was quite small, but his garden was very large. His sister, Sarah Dolittle, was housekeeper for him, but the doctor looked after the garden himself. He was very fond of animals and kept many kinds of pets. Besides the goldfish in the pond in his garden, he had rabbits in the pantry, white mice in his piano, a squirrel in the linen closet, and a hedgehog in the cellar. He had a cow with a calf, an old lame horse, chickens, pigeons, 2 lambs, and many other animals. But his favourite pets were Dab-Dab the duck, Jip the dog, Gub-Gub the baby pig, Polynesia the parrot, and the owl Tutu. His sister used to grumble that all these animals made the house untidy. "John, how can you expect sick people to come and see you when you keep all these animals in the house? Squire Jenkins and the parson say they wouldn't come near your house again, no matter how sick they are. We're getting poorer every day. If you go on like this, none of the best people will have you for a doctor." "But I like animals better than the best people," said the doctor. "You are ridiculous," said his sister, and walked out of the room. As time went on, the doctor got more animals, and the people who came to see him got less, till at last he had no one left except the cat's meat man, who only got sick once a year. Dr. Dolittle kept getting more pets, and it cost a lot to feed them. The money he had grew littler. He sold his piano and let the mice live in a bureau drawer. But that money began to go, so he sold the brown suit he wore on Sundays. Now when he walked down the street in his high hat, people would say, "There goes John Dolittle. There was a time when he was the best-known doctor in the West Country. Look at him now. He hasn't any money and his stockings are full of holes." But the dogs and the cats and the children still followed him through the town, the same as they had done when he was rich. One day the doctor was in his kitchen talking with the cat's meat man, who had a stomachache. "Why don't you give up being a people's doctor and be an animal doctor?" asked the cat's meat man. The parrot Polynesia, sitting in the window looking out at the rain, started to listen. The cat's meat man went on, "You know all about animals, much more than these vets do. That book you wrote about cats, why, it's wonderful. You might have been a cat yourself. You can make money doctoring animals. I'd send all the old women who had sick cats to you. All the farmers who had lame horses and weak lambs, they'd come. Be an animal doctor."
Listening to great authors can influence how you experience the world around you. Chapter puts amazing audiobooks from the greatest authors at your fingertips, anytime and always for free. What's your next chapter? Find it on Chapter. And please give us your feedback and opinions as we grow our services.